What? Dolly. Nissan Navara 2020 2.2 diesel. Going to show you how to take the gearbox out because I'm changing the clutch. Probably show you how to change that. I did a video a few years ago of the earlier model, the D40. Very similar. It'll be interesting to see what changes have been made, how it's been updated. That one was a 2005, so it didn't have all the emission stuff on it, just had a cat. This will have DPF, AdBlue, all of that. We'll just see what difference that made. Interesting, that last video, just an ordinary how to change your clutch, has been my most viewed video. So we'll see how this one goes. Let's get stuck in. I can see a few differences straight away. Falling suspension, coil spring and shocker, that's different. The old one used to be a leaf spring, that's an improvement. Gear cables, that's different. It used to be, you have to take the gear stick out from the top, it was directly into the gearbox. So that's good, no messing around taking interior bits and pieces out. We've got all this DPF stuff, but it's out the way, so it shouldn't be a problem. The D40, you always just squeeze it past the exhaust up by the Bellhousing, but looks like they've actually left a bit of room. Nissan do tend to think of things, which is good. Nothing else obvious. Cross members slightly different, it's holding more stuff, it's a bit more substantial. So what we're going to do, prop shaft off. This cross member, I don't know whether to take that out or not, we'll think about that later. Unbolt this, whatever it is, pump of some sort. It looks like a water pump. I don't know what they are. It's two water pumps, maybe a DPF cooler and such like. Anyway, unbolt those, unbolt this exhaust mount, get rid of this cross member with the gearbox supported, take all the wiring loom off the gearbox, take the gear selector cables off. Front prop shaft will be unbolted and taken out. Then after that, it's just a case of undoing all the Bellhousing bolts, a couple of transmission jacks on, and that should come out pretty easily. It actually looks like they've improved it and made it slightly easier to come out. They won't have improved it to make it come out easier, they'll have improved it to make it go together quicker in the factory when they're assembling it. That's how this whole deal works these days. It's not about us humble mechanics afterwards, it's about how quick can they put this thing together on the production line, which is fine, sometimes works in our advantage. More often than not, it doesn't. Aluminium, light as a feather. That's new. That was hard work. Cross member is exactly the same as the old model, and they get stuck in each end because the chassis is pinched against it, which is a strange idea. And I didn't want it to just fall because these pumps and stuff were bolted to it from the top and this exhaust mount. But I managed to get them in. It was in two separate bits and I tried to separate it. Middle bolt was just spinning. Hey, prop shaft's out, 4 bolts, easy enough. This cross member is out. I unbolted this bracket with all these pumps on it and it bolts down from the top. Oh yeah, there's the two bolts there. Now weirdly, they're a 13mm head. Japanese stuff's normally 12 and 14, so I don't understand that. It's definitely a Japanese bolt. Anyway, exhaust bracket. I've unbolted that. That bolted from the top as well. Now next, gear cables off and the bracket that holds it, bungee them out the way. Clutch slave cylinder, 2 bolts off, out the way. This is for the AdBlue injector, so unbolt it here and get that out of the way because I do not want to damage that at all. Front prop shaft, I'll whip that off. Then up the side of here, there's a bracket on the side of the gearbox which looks like some sort of heavy duty solenoid. No idea what that's for. So I'll take those 2 10s out and get that out of the way. The battery is disconnected. That's got 2 heavy cables going to it. I don't know what it's for. Then, obviously I've supported the back of the gearbox before I took the cross member out. As you can see, it was well and truly stuck either side. That used to be the same on the old ones. You just got to tease them out with a bit of love. And then start unplugging all the wiring harness followed over the top of the gearbox. Once the prop's out, I can drop the back of the gearbox right down. Then I can see what I'm doing and get at all that wiring. Cross member's a bit different to the old ones. The old ones used to just be 1 piece. Now there's 2 pieces. I didn't need to, but I tried to separate the 2, but that bolt's just spinning, so I'm going to have to cut that out, weld a new nut in, blah de blah. Let's crack on and get this out. Yeah, just look at this. I'm going to have to take this cross member out. It's just going to get in the way. 4 bolts, why not? Gearbox dropped down a bit. Gear linkage is off, as you can see, pulled out the way. Prop shaft bungeed out the way. Once the wiring harness is off, this is out, then it's just the Bellhousing bolts. One little thing, might be a bit of a pain, the gear linkage, when the gearbox comes down, it's going to hit this exhaust mount. I just have to be a little careful of that, and I can't take that exhaust mount off when I am not taking that off. Wiring loom. Okay, that's the wiring loom out the way. Pins in all the way along the gearbox, up here, up here, up here, up here. Goes around and down that side. A couple of them are fiddly. Unpicked tool and a mirror to get one down there. Now the fun starts. We've got to get to those bolts all the way down there. So a lot of long extensions. I think I'll let the hoist down a touch, it's too high. They're all 14, there's lots of them. Just going to work my way around, lay them out on the bench. Speaking of which, they're laid out with the bolts, so I know where to go back. Prop shaft bolts are on here. Front prop shaft bolts are on there. And on the bench, everything is just laid out as I've taken it off, so I can work in reverse order and hopefully remember where they all went. Every extension in the box. Sure, I used to have more than this. Okay, that's all the gearbox bolts out. As you can see, I had to use a ridiculous amount of extensions. It's just easier to go right over the top of the gearbox from the back. I've put all the gearbox bolts on the right hand side on this side of the hoist, and the left hand side I've put on this side of the hoist. And there's two slightly shorter ones which will hold the starter motor. Now this gearbox is a monster. It is huge, it's extremely heavy. You do not want that on your toes or your head. So I've got this heavy duty transmission jack holding the heavy bit at the back, which is a bit offset. But the good thing with this, I can adjust it that way. I'm trying to, and I've strapped it to this, so hopefully it comes out and stays in the same plane. It doesn't drop like that or like that. And then another one at the front with a couple of blocks of wood in to jam it. And I've dropped it just below this exhaust mounting, the gear selector. I've got it just below that. So I'm hoping now I've got everything tied out the way. I'm just going to gently pull this gearbox out. Wish me luck. And that is that monster out. There's so much weight in these, just be really careful if you're doing this. Now, as you saw, I had to give it a little bit of persuasion to get it out. There's a couple of dowels, there's one there, there's one at the top there. They get a little bit stuck, you've got to, it's just the sheer weight of it, you can't just pull it off, you've got to prise it off. Right, so I'll whip this clutch off. Obviously you can't smell it, but boy does this stink of clutch, and it was slipping when I brought it in. It's horrendous. Absolutely toast, down to the rivets. 125,000 miles probably been in from new. What happens is when they start slipping, they get really, really hot. You can see there the purple, that's pure heat, and it stinks. Yeah, it's a bit cleaner on that side, you can see right down the rivets. Clutch cover's been red hot. And if you're wondering how long that took, that clutch is still red hot from when I drove it in. That's how quick you can do one of these. Now, realistically, 9, 10, 11, I've had a couple of breaks. 2 hours to get it out, probably the same to put it back in. Clutch obviously bolts back up, gearbox bolts back in. I'll not bother showing you that. It's just the reverse order of what you've just seen, putting it back together. Keep everything neat so you know where all your bolts are. There's a lot of bolts in these. Everything's heavy, be careful. You don't want to see me struggling putting that back in on my own, do you? No, you don't. Thanks for tuning in. Do call again. Oh, and let me know in the comments if this was useful, anything I've missed. You know the deal. Give me some feedback. Thank you. Bye. Here's a fun fact. 2020 Nissan Navara. Putting a clutch in it. This is an old input shaft from a Nissan Skyline RB25 gearbox. All these years later, they've kept the spline exactly the same. And the pilot bearing. So this tool, this bit of shaft that I've had in my toolbox for 25 years, still works on modern Nissans. They never changed it. Why would you? If it works, don't change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.